and I was glad that we could still come out and perform Saturday night. And I felt like our young men did a good job. We obviously have a lot to work on this week. Felt like we played our best game defensively on the season. Offensively, too many turnovers. We struggled to get in a rhythm a little bit on offense on Saturday night, but I felt like we did some good things. We have still got some things to work on in the kicking game, but I will say that I thought Cody Mills probably had his best game as a Delta State statesman. I think he averaged 46 yards per punt and had a huge touchback after they had returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and he kicked, I think, 3 more balls into the end zone. So he did a really good job for us in the kicking game, and we're excited about a challenge. You know, the next 8 weeks starts a pretty good grind for us right now, and Albany's going to be a very, very tough opponent that's coming in here on Saturday afternoon. So we got a work cut out for us, but we're looking forward to the challenge and see if we can get better this week.
Coach Tyler had a fantastic game again. What is it like just having a quarterback like that on your team?
He's a good player. Seen a lot. I think he's 16-3 as our starting quarterback. Done some good things. I felt like he made a couple of mistakes the other night that we can work on. He's always looking to improve, which is what I like about him. But he's having a nice season, and I think he's 3-1 touchdown to interceptions right now. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards, thrown 9 touchdown passes, I believe. So having a good, we got some receivers stepping up, making some plays. So hopefully we can keep that going.
Of course, on the defense the other night, I saw where they held Kentucky very stingy on the yardage given up. As a coach, just kind of elaborate on that effort and how good it was just to see that.
Well, they gave them, I think we gave up 196 yards or something like that. Maybe I might be under 200 yards, and we created 5 turnovers. So if you can do that week in and week out, you're going to win a lot of football games. The biggest thing that we talk about, the only stats that we talk about, we don't ever get into points. We don't get into yards. We talk about turnover ratio, and we're +4 on the season right now. If we can improve upon that this weekend, that'll greatly help our chances of beating a tough Albany team. So, but I was proud of them. I thought we flew around. I thought we made tackles on the perimeter. I thought we got pressure on the quarterback. So I was real pleased with how we played defensively.
You look at Albany State. Of course, traditionally they've had some good teams.
Very good teams.
Playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about them and just their makeup and just kind of the weapons.
Well, they're extremely big. This is a very big. I think the offensive line averages right around 335 pounds. So it's a huge offensive front. They like to run the ball, and they like to keep the score down. And that's how they like to play. They went toe-to-toe with Valdosta State, who's, I think they might be ranked in the top 10 nationally and had many chances to win that game in the opener. And then they lost to a tough Tuskegee team in a classic game. And those two teams in that conference over there are 2 of the powerhouses. So they know how to win football games, and they've been doing it for a while. But they've got a tremendous running back. They've got a receiver in Quadri Simmons that's leading their conference in receptions and receiving yards. Defensively, they're very, very big. Nose guard's 350 pounds. Know about that guy, and they're very tall in the secondary. You're talking about 6'2" corners and stuff like that. So they're a talented group, and they're going to come in here to win the game, no doubt about it.
First 3 games, y'all have averaged 50 points a game. Just talk about that pace and how tough it is to kind of keep that up.
That's a great question. It's very tough to keep it up. That's why we always talk about getting better, because it's always, do you game plan versus execution. When you start game planning and changing what you do week to week, you get away from the principles and the fundamentals that make you a good offense, and we try to balance that with a few wrinkles here and there, but continue to do what we're doing well. The things that we've struggled with, I think, are everybody looks at our rushing stats. We're averaging 108 yards rushing a game, but we're running into some numbers, which is why the passing game's been there. You run the ball into loaded boxes, and that's what Kentucky Wesleyan did the other night, and I thought they did a really good job of it, of trying to make us one-dimensional. And that's why some of the deep balls were there. We missed a couple of deep balls that would have really opened the floodgates early, I thought, but we got to hit those. But that's what it's tough to answer your question. Extremely difficult to average 50 points a game.
Coach, I know last week this time you guys were going through an emotional time
Mm-hmm.
happening on campus, but can you kind of talk a little about what the week was like preparing your team for Kentucky Wesleyan and then the way they responded?
I felt like when we finally got to practice Tuesday night, I felt like we had one of the best practices of the year, just because I felt like our guys were just so happy to get back to normal and actually, I don't know, it just kind of makes you appreciate everything more. You kind of go to practice day to day and you don't stop to enjoy practice. You're getting to practice college football. Not many people get to do that. And I thought Tuesday night we just got out there and we were together. We were by ourselves in the stadium. Lights were on, and it was just a great night for us, just being around each other. Because Monday we were spread all over the place, and we knew where everybody was. But half our guys were in the field house, half of them were off campus. I mean, it was just kind of, it was really discombobulated, so to speak. So I felt like Tuesday was great, and then our guys, it got hot Wednesday, so we kind of went back to struggle a little bit on Wednesday, and then we got back ready. And I think we really, I thought we handled that along with everything that pig picking is great, and it's gotten bigger and bigger, and that's awesome, but there's a lot of distractions that can come with it, and I thought our guys did a good job of handling that and realizing that, hey, we got a job to do, and they went out at 6 o'clock and did what they were supposed to do.
Coach, you kind of alluded to this earlier, but your wide receiver core, it seems like every week a new guy's getting on the score sheet. What's that competition like, and what's it like having that great depth?
Well, I think it's really good. I think that I think there was a lot of questions early in the season when we dismissed Casey Osborne of who was going to step up. But I think good programs, that's what you do, and I feel like we're a good program. I think the numbers prove that what we've been able to do proves that, and I just think that other guys realized it was their time, and we got to step up. And I mean, you're talking about a guy that had 76 catches a year ago. Where are those balls going? They're still going to get thrown in the air, so somebody's going to catch them. And I had total confidence that those guys would do that, and it was their time. And you see a guy like Colin Floyd who just gets better every week. Pat Bethley's been probably one of our most consistent guys. Now Jarvis York is coming out of his shell and doing what we knew he could do all along. And then you got Justin Levy. Darius Powell's been a tremendous addition to us, doing some really good things. I'm hoping to get Ladero Hunt back. It would be awesome if we could get him back this weekend. He suffered an injury last Thursday that kept him out of that game, but if we can get him back, I think we'd have the full arsenal of wideouts going into this ball game, which we're going to need every one of them.
Coach, I feel like I ask you this every week, but it seems like Tyler stepped up in that Texas A&M Commerce game. Didn't get to ask you about this last week. What did you see in the growth of him leadership-wise going in from that game into last week's game? Has anything changed at all?
Not really. I mean, he was really emotional after the Commerce game. He felt like he didn't play very well early, and he felt like his teammates kind of picked him up, and he commented on that to our whole football family after the game. Pretty emotional moment there in the locker room in Texas, and I just think he keeps building on what he's doing. Like I said, he played pretty solid the other night. He made 2 mistakes that we wish we had back, and he wishes he had back, but one of them he should have ran the ball, and he decided to throw it, and he had the first down if he'd just ran it, which was not a real smart play. And then the other one was the fumble right before half, which the protection wasn't good, but he's got to take care of us, and that's what we talked about last night. Is some things are going to break down in our offense at times, but you can't break down that quarterback room. You can't break down. You're the last eraser, so to speak. You got to make everything right, So that's what he's focusing on right now. But he's been a great leader, and he continues to do that. And I see him trying to help the younger quarterbacks in the room. He tries to help every player on the team. He tries to talk to everybody. He's just a real nice, likable guy.
Coach, how does it feel to be 3-0 with 2 home games ahead of you, possibility of going in to some tough games undefeated?
Well, it feels good. It feels like I say it feels good. We expected to be 3-0. We expected to, we expect to try to win every week. And that's our goal. But the things that I'm upset about, and the reason why some people say, why are you always upset? I tell our players this, why I'm always upset is because, the other night I left that stadium thinking that we didn't play our best football. And that's what bothers you as a coach. You want to play your best football. We made a ton of mistakes. And it's like I've said, and I told them yesterday, my message to the team yesterday was really simple. I said, we either can be mature enough to correct these things now, or somebody's going to beat us, and then we'll correct them because I'll have your full attention. And I think the difference between – I still believe the difference between this team and a team we had even a year ago is the fact that they understand this and they want to get it corrected. And they're not overly excited. They weren't overly excited when we won the other night. They were just focusing more on what we've got to do to get better. And I think as long as we've got that, we're going to have a chance to be pretty successful this year. That's what. I guess to answer your question, I'm glad we're 3-0, but we expected to be there. So.
As far as your players, it doesn't sound like complacency is really an issue right now.
No, they're not complacent. We said we got things that get corrected, and it'll get corrected because they care. They really care about getting better. They care about doing things right. And as long as we've got that, we've got a chance. But we still keep making some mistakes. And don't get me wrong, I mean, we play well. We play well in spurts. But I want to see us play well for 4 quarters. You know, we had a kickoff return, got taken to the house on us the other night. We gave up a huge punt return. We turned the ball over 3 times. We're 1 for 12 on 3rd downs. I mean, that's not us. You know, yeah, we scored 51 points and threw it around, made plays, and defense was awesome. That's more what we want, you know, but we're just trying to get to where we can consistently do that for a whole game.
Your special teams stepped up last night. I noticed Saturday night, all of Kentucky's extra points were blocked.
Yeah, I've never been to a game like that where you block three PATs, but that was just great effort. We had a pretty good rush coming up the middle. I think they had confidence in that because we actually tipped one at Commerce, and the guy made it. But we actually tipped a field goal at Commerce, so they understood. Now, hey, now they trust it and go through and make the play, and I thought we did a great job. And like I said, if you take away those two same plays in the special teams, I thought we were pretty dominant the other night. The other thing that really bothered me was the amount of penalties we had. We've got to get that cleaned up. And some of them were legit. Some of them were, you know, I could argue a little bit, although I'd never do that. But I could argue it a little bit. But anyway, we'll get better.